For those of you who have been reading Economic Times, recently there's a news that Haldiram is offloading a part of its stake to one of the foreign investor. Now you must be wondering what will be the tax implications of such an investment. Now basically when you look at such a kind of an investment, what you need to see is whether the investment fund is going to be made in the company. That is it kind of a fresh issue that is happening? Is it that the existing shareholders, who could be individuals or companies, selling their shares, or a combination of two? Now, generally, if a non resident fund invests into Haldiram, which is their private limited company, earlier there used to be something called a Section 56 to 7B, where there could have been tax implications in the hands of the company on raising such funds. But that section is no longer applicable. So, in case of a secondary transfer, that is, where the promoters or the owners of the Haldiram sell their shares to a foreign investor, there would be capital gains in their hands. It will depend whether it's a company that is selling the shares or is it the individual promoters. Any difference between the sale value and the cost of acquisition in the hands of the shareholders will be liable to capital gains tax. Now, whether it's long term will depend on whether the ownership has been there for more than 24 months or it is less than 24 months. I am not privy to the fact whether the shareholding is also held by a non resident, which might be offloaded as a part of this transaction. If that be the case, then in that case, the tax treaty between India and that particular country will be applicable. For example, if these shares were acquired prior to 2017 and they were held through a Singapore entity or a Singapore resident individual, then those capital gains may even be exempt from corporate tax. Of course, if it is not the case, then the one needs to look at the tax treaty to see whether those are taxable. Let's see and wait in terms of how this transaction unfolds, and maybe at appropriate point in time when more details are available, we're going to look at what are the tax implications of such a transaction.